You guys, I have been getting back into yoga and deep stretches, and my body feels so good when I add stretching to my routine. I really am a lifter, but when I include some of these mindfulness practices and just stretching my body, it makes me better and feel better. So that's what we're gonna do today. Let's do a 10-minute lower body stretch. So we'll start in lizard lunge. So you're gonna take your right foot to the edge of your mat, and then your hands inside your right foot. Now, it has been some time since I have really been deep into my yoga practice, so I'm super tight, and that's okay. So you might be here on your hands like I am, or maybe you have enough room in your body to go down to your elbows. That's a little bit tight for me. Or you can add, if you have blocks underneath, and then go down to your elbows that way. And then in the lizard, you want to think of your chest coming up at the same time as your hips melting down. And we'll do the version where you're squeezing your right shoulder towards your right knee towards your right shoulder. So simply using a little bit of muscle action to hug that muscle inward. We're just gonna hold each stretch for a minute, and that's already been a minute on the right. So let's do a minute on the left. Whatever version you choose, it'll be different from side to side. My right hip is a little bit tighter than my left, so I feel like I have a little bit more room on this side. And then feel free to make it your own practice. You can find stillness and just deeply breathe. Or you can find a little bit of like intuitive movement, not like bouncing, but sometimes you just kind of like find the end range and just kind of hang out in it a little bit, if you know what I mean. Just kind of lower your hips, lift your chest, like a controlled pulse where you feel it the most. Feels great. 10 more seconds here. Using that breath to help control it and help you soften. Good. Now we're gonna switch legs again. You can always put something cushy under your knee, like I'm going to. And then for low lunge, square your hips towards the right knee, and then melt your hips towards the earth. Think of a little bit of a tailbone tuck, a little bit of lower core strength, and then from there, just feed the hips towards the earth. Lift and broaden your chest. Maybe for the last 30 seconds, you add the arms. Interlace your fingers, like finger guns, and then press your chest through. Reach your arms back. I am nowhere near what I used to be, but that's why I'm doing this here with you guys. About 10 more seconds, and we'll switch. Good, other side. Whoop. Right into it. Square your hips now towards the left knee. Let them melt forward. The knee can go a little bit past the ankle. That's totally fine. Add your lower core stability, and then maybe you work the chest and add a little bit of a back bend. Or if you're working the back bend without your arms overhead, you can put the hands on your low back for a little support, and then work the heart up from there. I need this one. Sometimes what we need is not always the version that we want to do. So get into it and listen to your body, what you actually need, not just, what you want. One more deep breath. Ooh, and I'm gonna add my yoga blocks, switching my legs again for half splits. Right leg in front, left hip over the left knee. We wanna square our left nose towards our right. our nose towards our right big toe. Really use your breath on this one. Lengthen as you inhale, think of long side body. As you exhale, you can think of deepening the stretch, but try not to just like round in. Work on that tailbone sticking back like you're doing a cow belly, so you get the hamstring insertion. Feels really good. And you might be super high, that's okay. Take your time. If you repeat this video or other stretching videos over and over, you will open up, I know from experience. Good, let's switch sides. I was so unflexible, and then I committed like a year of my life, really, to yoga in 2020. And I really opened up. I was able to do the splits, practicing them every single day. I would hold them for 3 minutes and do a lot of the stretching that I'm doing now with you. So if you're like, no, I'll never open up, you will if you are persistent. But don't rush it, and that doesn't even need to be the goal. It can just be feeling good in your body. How about that? Another 15 seconds on this side. Again, really work your breath. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, a little longer than your inhale to soften. Amazing. Let's do a pigeon pose. So I'll bring my right leg up to the front of the mat. You can always get into this from a downward facing dog, or you can just kind of spin around like how I did. And you can find your version, either sitting up like I am, or coming down onto your forearms. You can create a little pillow for your thumb with your for your forehead with your thumbs. You can go all the way down, or you can fully stretch out. You have a room to make it your own, as you always should. Yoga is about mindfulness. Stretching is about mindfulness. So bring that into your practice, into your stretching. Be present here. One more breath on this side. And then slowly come up and switch sides. This one's an entirely different side, so treat it as an entirely different stretch. Square the hips forward. Find a little bit of lower belly before you completely be passive in your stretch. And then it's like, how much can I surrender and let go and not let my mind wander? Notice the thoughts that do come up and just notice. You don't need to listen to them. Thoughts are not always true. Many times they're not. They're just wiring of the brain that's been there for a while. But if we want something new, we have to think differently. Good. Come up. Woo. You can roll onto that hip. Maybe lean back and just kind of windshield wiper your hip side to side. And we'll do one more to finish. We'll finish with a wide straddle. So turn a long ways on your mat. Whoop. Roll the toes open. I like to kind of sit my butt back and get the flesh out of the way. Whoop. And then, excuse me. I'm gonna use my blocks to just help me kind of like slide forward, keeping good posture. And then slowly find where you feel the resistance. You can use a towel for this, a pillow, or just your hands crawling forward is also fine. And just let go. The more you let go of tension, And I'm always a little bit active, so it's like letting go of tension in the shoulders and the face, but I'm actively rolling my knees out, rolling my toes out to surrender deeper to the stretch. Take one more deep breath here. And you can rise, bring your feet back together, or maybe stay longer if that's what serves you right now. But if you'd like this stretch video, let me know by liking and subscribing, and maybe I'll see you next time.